Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso have set the pace for true African independence. The leaders of these countries have shown other African leaders that it is possible to achieve self-reliance. And now, Ethiopia has followed in their footsteps. Recently, the authorities in Ethiopia released a groundbreaking announcement. The country recently inaugurated a drone and ammunition facility. With this facility, Ethiopia would no longer depend on Western countries for military equipment. This is remarkable and revolutionary. A similar facility is currently being built in Mali by Colonel Assimi Goita. In this video, we are going to analyze these facilities and what it means for Africa as a whole. Despite the fact that most African countries have been independent for decades, a majority of African countries still depend on the West for defense equipment. This has put many African countries, especially those fighting against insurgency, at a disadvantage. In Burkina Faso, for instance, President Traore revealed how France stopped Burkina Faso from accessing good weapons. While the country was still under the influence of France, France dictated what military equipment Burkina Faso could buy. And most of the equipment they ended up buying was outdated and ridiculously expensive. As a result, Burkina Faso had to occasionally borrow military equipment from its neighbors. There is no doubt that if this could happen to Burkina Faso, it would certainly have happened to other African countries. In addition to this, when Traore came into power and wanted to outfit the military, he found it difficult to do this. Western countries like the US and Germany refused to sell weapons to him. It wasn't until he turned to non-Western countries like Russia, Turkey, and China that he began to access high-grade weapons. Imagine the stress he had to go through for the Burkinabe military. But imagine if Burkina Faso, or any other African country, had a military industry where arms and ammunition are sold. President Traore would not have bothered going across the continent to acquire those weapons. You see, the defense industry in Africa is nothing to write home about. While there are a couple of companies, including Denel in South Africa, which was founded in 1922, and Daikin in Nigeria, which was established in 1964, the fact is that these companies only specialize in small arms and light weapons. This is because African countries have not invested significantly in this sector. In addition to this, the African defense industry is subject to various laws, policies, and regulations, which are often outdated, inconsistent, and contradictory. Also, the industry has struggled to meet the high standards and expectations of the global market, both in terms of quality and performance. Before we proceed, here is a reminder to like this video, drop a comment, and subscribe to our channel so that you can get more videos like this. The lack of skilled and qualified personnel, the scarcity of advanced technology and equipment, the poor infrastructure and logistics, and the low research and development capacity are all challenges facing the African defense industry. However, some African countries have decided to take significant steps towards revolutionizing the industry in recent times. One such country is Ethiopia. Last month, Ethiopia took a bold step into the future of technology and defense with the launch of a large-scale drone manufacturing facility. The Ethiopian Prime Minister, Abiy Ahmed, inaugurated Skywing Industry, a new company dedicated to producing unmanned aerial vehicles for both civilian and military purposes. This milestone not only highlights Ethiopia's growing technological prowess, but also signals its ambition to become a player in the global drone market, balancing national security with international trade. During the inauguration ceremony, Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed celebrated the rapid progress Ethiopia has made in drone technology. Today, as we inaugurate Skywing Industry, we recognize that the locally manufactured drones before us were unimaginable just a few years ago, he announced via X. The Prime Minister credited the achievement to the ingenuity of young Ethiopian professionals, emphasizing that their ability to design and build drones with diverse capabilities marks a significant milestone for the nation. The Prime Minister also outlined a roadmap for sustaining this progress, calling for continuous research, expanded market reach, and strengthened local production of smart sensor technologies. The drones produced by Skywing Industry are engineered to serve dual purposes, enhancing Ethiopia's sovereignty and defense capabilities, while also being positioned for export to international markets. This strategic vision reflects Ethiopia's desire to reduce its reliance on foreign technology and assert greater control over its security and economic future. Ethiopia's new drones are designed to meet a wide range of tactical needs, capable of operating efficiently at high altitudes. They are equipped with counter-drone systems to neutralize airborne threats. The integration of artificial intelligence (AI) further boosts their operational efficiency, making them adaptable tools for offensive, defensive, surveillance, and intelligence-gathering missions. Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed underscored the peaceful intent behind this initiative. "We are developing capabilities like these, not to fuel conflict, but to prevent it," he stated, framing the drones as instruments of deterrence rather than aggression. This emphasis on prevention aligns with Ethiopia's broader goal of strengthening its defense posture while maintaining stability in a complex regional landscape. However, Ethiopia is no stranger to drone technology. The country already operates a diverse fleet of UAVs from international suppliers, including Israeli Bluebird Aero Systems, Chinese CH-4, and Iranian Mahajer 6 models. These systems have played a key role in Ethiopia's defense strategy, particularly in addressing internal security challenges. In 2022, the nation's drone capabilities drew attention when Tigray People's Liberation Front (TPLF) leader Getachew Reda alleged that the United Arab Emirates was supporting Ethiopian forces with armed drones from its base in Assab, Eritrea. While these claims highlighted the strategic importance of drones in regional conflicts, Ethiopia's new manufacturing initiative aims to shift the narrative towards self-reliance. The launch of Skywing Industry builds on these existing capabilities, complementing other defense advancements such as those at the Omicho ammunition engineering industry. Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed urged continued collaboration and research across these sectors to maintain Ethiopia's momentum in drone innovation, signaling a holistic approach to modernizing the country's defense industrial base. Beyond strengthening national security, Ethiopia's drone program has its sights set on international trade. The Prime Minister highlighted the country's capacity to sell these drones to other markets, a move that could position Ethiopia as a competitive force in the rapidly growing global drone industry. With applications ranging from agriculture and infrastructure monitoring to disaster response and military operations, drones are in high demand worldwide. Ethiopia's entry into this market could unlock new economic opportunities while enhancing its geopolitical influence, particularly in Africa and the Middle East. However, breaking into the global market will require Ethiopia to navigate a competitive landscape dominated by established players like China, Israel, and Turkey. To succeed, the country may need to focus on cost-effectiveness, adaptability to regional needs, or niche applications that set its drones apart. The Prime Minister's call for further research and development suggests a commitment to meeting these challenges head-on. This remarkable achievement happened last month, and just a few days ago, the authorities announced another groundbreaking achievement. Ethiopia has opened its own ammunition manufacturing facility. According to the Prime Minister, Ethiopia depended on imports until 3 years ago, but currently, Ethiopia can produce ammunition locally and even export it. He also revealed that Ethiopia has secured ammunition export deals worth over $30 million in the last 3 months. The Ethiopian Prime Minister made this announcement during the inauguration of the Homicho ammunition engineering industry in the Oromia region of Ethiopia. He said in 2014 to 2022, we were importing ammunition. Now we are self-reliant for AK-47, DSHK, and artillery ammunition. The Homicho Ammunition Engineering Complex is part of Metals and Engineering Corporation and is also one of the military production facilities of the Ethiopian defense industry sector. The facility was completed in 2 years and specializes in producing a wide range of ammunition for use by the Ethiopian National Defense Force. The center produces a wide range of ammunition ranging from light weapons to heavy mortars and artillery, including those for Kalashnikov rifles, Bren guns, sniper rifles, DSHK heavy machine guns, and tank artillery. In addition to local consumption, he says that Ethiopia has started exporting ammunition to other countries. Only within the last 3 months alone, we have sold not less than $30 million, Abiy Ahmed said. He was speaking about it in a celebratory mood, as seen from the video footage state media aired. He added, "The job of handing over a better Ethiopia to our children is taking shape in every sector in a beautiful way." He also claims the changes in the defense industry are promising. This is extraordinary and places Ethiopia among the third highest arms export countries in Africa. South Africa remains the highest export arms country in Africa with a total of $48 million in sales. South Africa has been exporting military hardware for decades, with a well-established arms industry that supplies over 30 African nations. Egypt, similarly, has a state-backed military-industrial complex that has developed small arms, armored vehicles, and munitions for years. Ethiopia decided to create a military industry after the terrible war that wrecked the country. Recall that under the leadership of Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed, who has been in power since 2018, saw one of the most devastating wars in its history. The war between his government and the Tigray People's Liberation Front, TPLF, led Tigray regional government, is estimated to have claimed the lives of more than 1 million people. Afar, Amhara, and Tigray regions of Ethiopia were devastated by the war. The ammunition factory was reportedly started towards the end of the war. With the drone facility and the ammunition facility, it is clear that Ethiopia's reliance on the West for its defense needs will drastically reduce. Additionally, with more investment in the industry, the Ethiopian military industry will grow up till the point that it can compete in the international defense industry. Now, it's not just Ethiopia that is making moves in the defense industry. Mali is also making a similar move. During Mali's celebrations for the 64th anniversary of the Malian Armed Forces, Colonel Assimi Goïta announced the plans to build an arms industry in Mali. The industry would comprise building factories for the assembly of weapons and vehicles and the manufacture of ammunition and explosives. The process of equipping the armed and security forces will be improved in 2025 with the establishment of a defense industry, the head of state said in his address to the nation, specifying that Bamako is working actively on the installation of factories with units for the assembly of individual and collective tactical weapons and vehicles, as well as for the manufacture of ammunition and explosives, including for civilian use. The aim of the investment is to make the country militarily independent, Goïta stressed, adding that today's Mali is no longer the favorite terrain of nostalgics of a paternalistic past. No doubt Colonel Assimi was referring to France, which had been kicked out of the country in 2022. According to Colonel Assimi, is a free and sovereign actor and chooses its destiny with full knowledge of the facts. This serves as a warning to all Western governments that intend to try to manipulate or put pressure on Bamako. Colonel Assimi further noted that Mali, whose army has been demoralized, humiliated, and weakened, now presents itself as an important actor in the sub-region. The organization of the Malian Armed Forces has been revised to ensure a better response capacity and greater efficiency on the ground. Our military infrastructure is currently undergoing complete modernization, added the leader. The plans for the Malian military industry was first announced in July 2024 by the Malian Minister of Defense Sadio Kamara. According to him, Mali will soon begin producing ammunition, in a phase that also includes the assembly of armored vehicles. The decision of the military leader to create an arms industry is a smart one. Not only will it bolster national defense, but also to generate economic benefits through job creation and industrial growth. The project also symbolizes a strategic step towards self-reliance in defense while offering broader economic prospects for Mali's future. In addition to this, given that Mali is a part of the AES Confederation, there is no doubt that Burkina Faso and Niger will also profit from the industry. With more investment in the industry, these countries will no longer need to depend on foreign countries for their defense needs. Currently, Mali depends on China and Russia for its arms supplies. In September 2024, on the eve of the opening of the 9th edition of the Forum on China-Africa Cooperation, FOCAC in Beijing, General Goïta signed an agreement with the Chinese arms company Norinco for the acquisition of new military equipment for Mali. Accompanied by the Minister of Defense, Goïta visited the company to learn about the latest innovations in the field of armaments, particularly in the areas of small arms, combat drones, and advanced artillery systems. The contract signed by Minister Kamara and the leaders of Norinco aims to modernize the Malian armed forces in response to the security challenges the country faces, particularly in the northern and central regions. In the past, Norinco had already supplied armored vehicles to the Malian army. which were decisive in the recapture of Kidal in November 2023, also thanks to the support of Emirati-made mine and ambush-protected vehicles, MRAPs, used by Russian partners fighting alongside the Malian army. Bamako has also recently strengthened its security relations with Moscow, particularly following the withdrawal of French troops. At the end of November, the Russian Deputy Defense Minister Yunusbek Yevkurov and the senior official of the Ministry of Defense, Andrei Avryanov, held talks with the Bamako junta as part of a visit to Mali led by the Deputy Prime Minister Alexander Novak. On January 17, 2025, a large Russian convoy of military equipment arrived in Bamako. At least 7 T-72B3M tanks, 5 BMP-3 infantry fighting vehicles and BMD on rails, as well as 7 BTR-82A wheeled armored personnel carriers. Spartacus wheeled armored vehicles, equipped with the S-60 gun, a model introduced in Russia only in 2023, were also reported, as well as vehicles for civilian use such as a Linza ambulance and Tiger vehicles. The convoy included many KAMAZ 4,385 trucks, which entered service in 2024, and 2 light boats intended for river patrol. While both China and Russia have proven themselves to be reliable partners, the military leader of Mali clearly does not intend to depend on them forever. This is why he plans to establish the Malian military industry. The establishment of the industry will no doubt set Mali on a path of industrialization. This is something every African leader should aspire towards, a total independence from the West. It is the same thing that President Traore has emphasized since he came into power. Most African countries are not regarded or well respected in the international stage because they have continuously portrayed themselves as victims that depend on the West for everything. But Sahel leaders like Traore are attempting to change this narrative. What are your thoughts? Let us know in the comment section below. Don't forget to like this video, drop a comment and share.